So, in 105 AD, which is really fucking far back, Cylon developed the basic process we use today for making paper, which wasn't papyrus because that had been being done since 2200 BC, but the process that Cylon developed has relatively stayed the same. By the 12th century, papermaking arrived in Europe, and you get that whole book knowledge spreading thing that we all learn about and yet take for granted every day. Here's a picture of a unicorn to keep you interested. So, Cylon creates this process that's made up of 4 steps: beating, cooking, cleaning, and drying. Basically, you break down the structure of the plant or wood, cook the fibers till they are fluffy and broken down, clean the fibers and submerge them into water, put them into a frame, and have the fibers dry into what we call paper today. In 1812, the Fourdrinier brothers create the Fourdrinier paper machine. Well, they didn't call it that, but that's what we call it because they made it up. In essence, the fiber mixture starts out at 99.5% water and in the end is made up of 0.5% water. That means it goes in at mostly all water and then ends up with very little water, which I still think is crazy that our paper even has any water in it. So, in order to make paper, you need a cellulose fiber which can accept water and form a strong bond like this between each other. Basically, that means you have 4 choices of fiber: blast, seed, grass, and wood. Wood can be separated down into softwood or hardwood. Blast is a linen fiber, seed is a cotton fiber, grass is a straw fiber. Softwoods, such as fir, pine, spruce, those trees, have long fibers that are more flexible and thicker. Hardwood, such as oak, beech, birch, maple, it's a short fiber that is stiffer and thinner. Here's the basic rule: the longer the fiber, the stronger the paper. Yay, more unicorns! Once you have this fiber, there are various types of pulps that you can create. If you want to go au naturel, then you would go with mechanical pulping, which simply grinds up the fiber. The problem with this, though, is that the paper turns yellow over time, which could be really gross for anything except for newspapers, which you end up recycling at the end of the day. So that's why it doesn't matter if we use it for newspapers. To get rid of the lignin, aka the yellowing I was talking about, you add chemicals in, and there are a bunch of other things that we can do to the pulp to get various results, but let's not be too nitpicky since you're probably all bored by now. But I've got your attention now. Next, you would refine the paper pulp, which separates the fibers completely, and this helps the fibers connect to each other because they bind together really well and connect, and that's great, so it's stronger. You add some other stuff in, such as fillers, binders, and sizing agents, and the pulp goes into the machine, travels down, la-ti-da, shakes itself off, and aligns the fiber to be in one direction. Here's the trick. If you rip a piece of paper, the way it rips straighter is with the fiber, meaning the fibers are all going in that direction. The side that you rip that goes all crazy and wacky and does not stay straight is going against the fiber. In the end, the paper goes through calendaring, which makes it super smooth, and a coating can be added for whatever type of paper you need, embossing, etc. All the information goes on, but that's a start. With the fiber. Against the fiber.